Well, if we go back to when Bush was here, I think the Georgian people had shown genuine, support and solidarity with the American people, and appreciated greatly American support for Georgia. You had this huge crowd, I mean, unheard of more than 100,000 people waiting for hours and hours. And there was indeed, somebody throwing a bomb, and this bomb hopefully didn't, thanks God, didn't explode. And then a Georgian policeman, it fell in front of a child, not far from where Bush was speaking, actually, and I was also there. And so there was a small child, and it fell in his lap. And then Georgian policeman took this bomb and carried all the way, 200 meters from there. And it was one chance out of 100, because we were going through it together with the FBI expert, that bomb would not explode. So there should be some divine force basically guarding us from that.
Okay, we're going to go on to some of our questions coming via our blog now. I'll just put them straight to you. Mick wants to know, why did you attack South Ossetia?
When you are invaded, we are a small nation, and you have two choices: to capitulate and stop your existence, that they certainly went after our independence, or resist. Well, you don't send flowers to invading troops, actually. What are you supposed to do? And I think we took the second road. It was an impossible choice. We had to react. We had to respond. We were shelled by Russian proxies for weeks and weeks, and they were the first ones to fire. And then Russian troops came in. And so again, it was an impossible choice, but the choice was clear. We refused to surrender, and that's the reason why this palace where I'm sitting still has Georgian flag, why most importantly Georgia has independence, and it's still a successful country in this region.
Okay, it's obviously been disastrous for relations with Russia, of course, which is never been that great, have they? But it takes us on to Rafat's question. What do you predict to be the relationship between Georgia and Russia in 5 years' time?
We have 500,000 refugees in Georgia. It's a small country, less than 5 million people, 500,000 refugees. And we had war, but it's also a very normal country. So it's a big trauma for a normal, fast-developing country. Despite this fact, you will not find any hostility among Georgian people towards the Russians. And I think there are lots of Russians who have good feelings about Georgia. Indeed, the best film documentary about last year's war, the most fair one, was done by a Russian filmmaker.
Jean from Paris asked,
sure.
Why do you not allow the opposition to express itself freely in the media? There's been a lot of criticism on your administration on that, hasn't there?
Well, I mean, I have to tell you, we are a country where that allowed for 4 months, when we have Russian artillery 32 kilometers away from the capital, on the heights, targeting this very palace from which I'm speaking to you, we allowed opposition to block for 4 months a paralyzed city center, and to basically paralyze this palace. I had to go to another place and basically run the country from there. And not because we didn't have force, but I strongly believe, and by my original training and background, I'm a human rights lawyer. I strongly believe in freedom and democracy. With regard to Georgian media, yep. We have 27 independent channels in Georgia. We have dozens of political talk shows every day. I think we are politicized society to the extent where you will not find it in most of the Eastern and Central European countries, and we welcome it.
Saakashvili there, speaking to me earlier, our connector of the day.